I think we're now at the point in the cycle of tragedy where people are starting to kind of go through the entire grief process, as it were. They've come to terms with the fact that Elon Musk is ultimately going to buy Twitter. These are the lefties who still use Twitter, at just 90% of their day. But now they're deciding to spurg out about a couple of other things because of all of the people that have been blacklisted, censored, canceled off of the platform. Now it looks like maybe Twitter's going to have a new lease on life when it comes to free expression. I don't really think so, okay? Because I don't really know everything there is to know about Elon Musk, okay? I respect him for his outright genius-level intellect in creating so mmany modern miracles, but outside of that, he's kind of a sketchy dude. I'll just keep it a buck. But he's vowed to... Back in May, he was saying, oh yeah, no, I'll let Trump back on the platform. If he wants to use his account, he can just go ahead and do that to his heart's content. But there are some other names in here that he's also going to be bringing up. That should really cause some people, and is causing some people, to really lash out irrationally. Somebody who's not going to be named in this, and somebody who I want to bring up because, again, he ended up getting the big yeet here yesterday. Somebody who I really respect and really like, Nick Rekieta, Rekieta Law. Small law firm in central Minnesota, the whole gag. He was kind of the guy who really popularized, with the obvious exception of legal eagle, and nobody should take that fucking cuck seriously, but he was the guy who really put lawyers discussing law on the internet on the map, for better or for worse, right? There's a whole bunch of people now, all of a sudden, and it's a real shame that this happened right now, because it was just about a year ago, because that's when the Kyle Rittenhouse trial was going on, and of course Nick had been around for a long time. He just, I think he made mention of it yesterday when I was watching some of the live stream. It would be 5 years that he'd been on YouTube as of next month, and everything really kicked off for him covering the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff, like, again, when the verdict came down, and when Kyle ended up skating on all 5 of those charges, justifiably so, of course. He was getting what? I think I still got the screenshot, like 123,000 people were watching it at the time, and then even when the Amber Heard justice ended up getting doled out on her, he had over 100 and some odd thousand people watching his streams. Like, this dude is incredibly popular. Why? Well, because he gives, like, next to zero fucks. I really respect him. I've been subscribed to him for... It's one of my oldest subscriptions, okay? Probably, oh lord, like, is it summer 2018? Like, I've been rocking with Nick for a long time, so... To see him get yeeted over just some absolute dog shit fucking things over the past couple of weeks. You got Andrew Tate, you got Sneeko, now you got Rekieta on top of that, and the internet's just starting to seem like a smaller place by the coming days. But again, Rumble, man, Rumble's making some moves, okay? They're signing some people, and again, like, Nick's live stream last night was getting like 25,000 people watching it, so again, Rumble's viable, and the more people that end up switching some stuff up, because again, I'm also seeing some other people, some bigger content creators in different spheres, not just the legal sphere, but also he was very instrumental, and he is a big supporter of the media coverage sphere. And a lot of people are making some movements over to Rumble, and I'm happy for everybody who watches this stuff of mine over there on Rumble. I've been growing it. I was the one when there was the whole choice of platforms that were out there. I bet on Rumble to succeed, and hey man, it looks like it's coming to fruition, for better or for worse. Hopefully Nick ends up ultimately getting his YouTube account back, and I'd love to go into more detail when it comes to the strikes and stuff, but this is all still very new, and we don't know. This could be reversed like that over the weekend. Hopefully so, because again, he has backlogs of good shows, evergreen shows, funny shows, okay, that I would go back to every once in a while and just throw on and listen to. And those, he says he has them all backed up locally, but again, it's just another bitch of the fucking YouTube eating all of his old content, okay? It's just apparently gone right now. So if you appreciate some of the legal topics that I talk about, I've made it apparent, okay, when I'm doing some of my coverage, especially the Amber Heard Johnny Depp stuff. I was watching Rekieta's coverage on it, okay, and him adding on the additional insight was instrumental into me expounding some of my ideas on top of that, and same with the Rittenhouse stuff, okay? If you fuck with me, you should fuck with that guy. He's a good dude. And he also, a couple weeks ago, lost his Twitter account. And again, there's just, kind of small fish. But when it comes to losing your YouTube account, like, again, I've been struck a whole bunch of times. I think it's like 11 11 or 10 strikes at this point. You don't win them all. You win some of them, and you get kicked off the platform for a week at a time here and there. It fucking sucks. But then when you end up losing your 470,000 subscriber channel like that, just because you upset a bunch of fucking limp dick trannies for unjustifiable reasons, hey man, it's fucking ridiculous, and I hope to see him back on all the platforms, and maybe with Elon buying back Twitter, and then also, I don't really know, man. He's also signaled, whatever the fuck that means, okay, that he wants to do business with Rumble. So I don't know, is that just supercharge it when it comes to funds, or does he just do a very slow, meandering, oddly intonated podcast? That would be kind of funny for a second, but I don't know what the fuck he's ultimately going to end up doing with that. And then also hearing word, and I had another article pulled up and whatever, but just the headline will suffice. You can trust me, or you can double check it if you want, that Twitter just more or less wants to go forward with the lawsuit, and they aren't accepting his bid. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the entire purpose of the lawsuit is to get him to buy Twitter at the price that he's going to be buying Twitter for. So that would just be a waste of Delaware taxpayer dollars. Which again, hey man, it's not the worst thing in the world, because I think Biden still lives there, and at least that'll chip away at some of his financial worth. Him and his kids. Oh, I guess, would that be Ukraine's money? But then we're also funding Ukraine. Anyways, more on that in a second. So what is Elon Musk ultimately going to do, according to The Independent? Elon Musk's moved this week to revive his bid to buy Twitter, a move that once again has people talking about the repercussions of the right-leaning billionaire. Right-leaning, left-leaning, center-leaning, it kind of all just depends on his takes. I don't know how you would properly politically categorize Elon Musk, and that's just another reason that you can never quite pin down what he's going to do next. This overvaluation of Twitter, and then just his immediate reversal like days before the trial, hey man, it's just a little bit goofy to say the least. But to say that he's right-leaning because for the first time in his life, conflicting reports on that one, he's ever voting Republican. So I don't know, man. Just because he's not a screeching lefty, ergo right-leaning. Okay. Mr. Musk began the campaign to purchase Twitter earlier this year, but soon balked over claims that the company was refusing to release information about bots on the platform. Ultimately, really, if he ends up buying it at the price that he originally, I would argue, memed in there, because $54.20, let's stop it. He found a way to work in $4.20 and end up buying a tech company. It would beg to believe. Honestly, I just thought that was to get his foot in the door, to get the board of directors to accept his bid, and then ultimately try to work it down. Because he knew that there were bots on the platform, and if he wasn't getting any of the information regarding these bots, he had an opportunity to drive it down completely through the floor. So yeah, no, he's a sharp businessman. I think we can agree on that. He now heads to the latest round of negotiations, humbled and back to the original offer in an attempt to avoid a lawsuit. On Thursday afternoon, lawyers for Tesla and SpaceX CEO claimed that Twitter had denied his renewed bid. Hey, we didn't even need the additional article that was up there. It just confirms it right there. Amid uncertainty over whether the deal will actually go through, one other big question looms. What would a Musk takeover of Twitter mean for Donald Trump? Well, he seems like he's all fine over there on Truth Social. Haven't got the opportunity to go over there and use it, because again, the Android app ended up getting fucking not approved for whatever stupid reasons. I don't fucking know. You got so many other fucking hack clone games on there, but whatever. You don't want to have a social media app, and a social media without an app is fucking dead in the water. But it's all over iOS, and that's fine. Trump uses the fucking iPhone. Great, wonderful, fantastic. That's his phone of choice and his platform of choice, at least for the time being. Okay. Former president remains one of the toughest headaches for managers of social media platforms to date. No, not really. They all just kind of got together and decided, oh, January 6th was like literally 9/11 once again, and we can just go ahead and get rid of them, because that's all what they did. He even got rid of his fucking Shopify account, so whatever. And oh no, he probably can't get an Uber. Who fucking cares? Sequestered away at Mar-a-Lago, surrounded by only his closest supporters. Yes, the thousands of people that constantly line the streets whenever he comes back to Mar-a-Lago. His closest supporters, fucking high. But again, this is The Independent, just the rejects from the fucking Guardian. Whatever. Mr. Trump, it's former President Trump, you cocksuckers, has done nothing to reform his conduct following bans from Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Yeah, you already banned him. Okay, what's the point in apparently apologizing Okay, it's not going to get him back on the fucking platform, and again, it makes him look weak. That's not Trump's MO, but I guess that's your MO. I guess you should probably stop self-snitching on yourself, but we'll continue to go. As a consequence of his false claims of the 2020 election, fomenting a deadly riot. You don't want to talk about who actually died, though, do you? Oh, the only person who died that day as a result of being at the Capitol, not dying afterwards or even days later, that would be Ashley Babbitt. And do we want to discuss that? No, shut it down. We can't talk. No talking about. Oh, okay, cool. I understand. But again, we'll continue. Indeed, Mr. Trump, if anything, has escalated his misconduct. Oh my God, he's breaking the TOS of life. I don't know what you're complaining about. Since leaving, oh yes, office. What was once a whispered about potentiality reported by the New York Times, Maggie, I'm being sued by Project Veritas Haberman, that Mr. Trump would demand to be reinstated as president after leaving the White House. Oh yeah, it just goes to show you how good of a journalist she is, because has he done that? Has he been successful? What is it? Oh, okay, cool. It's October of 2022, and he still has yet to even announce his campaign for 2024. Oh, he's not in the White House? Oh, okay, cool. I think you're in the clear on this one. The orange man can't hurt you right now, but he's the only thing that draws clicks, because again, you could talk about how Biden was, oh my God, it was so cool when he says nobody fucks with a Biden on that hot mic down there in Florida, and then, yeah, you don't want to talk about a speech that said, this just really proves that all the death and destruction that we can't doubt climate change anymore. Even though if you take a look over decades of span, 2000s, 2010s, it's really no different between the 1800s and 1810s when it comes to the amount of hurricanes or even severity of hurricanes. But hey man, you know, if they just want to go ahead and push their climate activist agenda, they'll lie openly about it and nobody will fucking bat an eye. Oh yeah, and by the way, nobody wants to click on that shit. Okay, Trump drives clicks, not Biden. Anyways, the my aside, there's so many little things going on today that it's just impossible to bag down one specific thing. But I think I got pretty close. Okay. What Facebook attempted to do was temporarily suspending Mr. Trump for several years with the intent of revisiting the situation before 2024. Yeah, exactly. No, they'll just place him on another ban because I don't fucking know. And again, it's a private company. You can do whatever you want. I've been seeing that retarded talking point come back up again by lefties and limp-dicked libertarians. Ugh, God, they've... just a fucking tragic group at this point. So anyways, yeah, let's get to the point here. Elon Musk allows Donald Trump to come back, one of his many options. It appears the most likely option, given that Mr. Musk pretty roundly denounced the original decision to ban Mr. Trump when it occurred. He called the move a mistake earlier this year at a financial conference, while not directly saying whether he'd reverse it. Should he take over the company? Again, I'd like to see him pull out my nuclear option on this one, and just as soon as everything's all done and dusted, that he just goes into the server room with his flamethrower and fucking torches the place like Hank Scorpio. That would be great, but the second option that they opine so thoughtfully. Oh, he doesn't. Okay, cool. Glad you wrote that. All in all, it's clear that there's no easy answer for Mr. Musk when it comes to the future of one of Twitter's most read accounts and its place on the platform I'll be forced to control. Yeah, no, exactly. I don't know, it's interesting, because if you bring Trump back on, he was the only person who was actually driving growth on that fucking dilapidated platform, but, hey man, he has the choice to do whatever he wants, ultimately. At the end of the day, it's gonna be his little toy that he wants to fucking play with. Everybody's already on there, and if he wants to rejuvenate the fucking platform, that's gonna be at least temporarily devoid of fucking blue check marks that'll be, we're gonna leave, and we're just gonna go, we're just gonna yell into a corner, and then weeks later, they'll just be continuously. I give them too much credit. Minutes later, they'll be back on the platform just saying, well, as a sign of protest, we just can't let these evil right-wingers win. We can't let these evil fascists win. Very hateful rhetoric for an African-American, but they'll do whatever the fuck they want. But yeah, a lot of people are fucking butthurt by this decision that Elon Musk is ultimately going to end up owning Twitter, okay? And one of those people that's right up there at the top of the list is Senator Lindsey Graham. Oh my God, like this motherfucker. I've told you, he is an unreliable ally. And you know what you do with unreliable allies? You don't rely on them for fucking anything. Case in point, we're going to take a look at this long old fucking Twitter thread because it's a bit of a spurg fest, if you ask me. With all due respect to Elon Musk, and I do respect him, I would suggest he needs to understand the facts of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Because again, Lindsey Graham is a huge fucking warmonger. He loves the Ukraine. I also appreciate Ukraine, not because I'm a quarter Ukrainian, but I do love the women that are over there. Some top tier women that are over there, and Lindsey Graham also shares a similar sentiment. He's just more attracted by the men. Strong jawline. Oh my god. Oh my god. But we talked about this, I think it was yesterday or something like that, or maybe even earlier today. I don't even fucking know how all this shit ends up working out, really. But Elon had a kind of an alright, decent idea on ending the conflict between Russia and Ukraine before things get way too far afield. And I added my commentary over the top of it, as of course one would do. But Lindsey, because of him and his gigantic brain that he has up there in the Senate, he thinks that he can do it better and that Elon Musk should just shut up and stay in his lane. Suggesting we end the Russian invasion by simply giving Russia parts of Ukraine after all the suffering is dumb. No, they voted to leave Ukraine and join Russia, so you're not giving anybody anything. And again, you don't control Ukraine, just saying. It is also an affront to the bravery of the Ukrainian fighting to defend their homeland. Yes, they're being forced into service. Yes, I know, it's big sad. In 1994, through the Budapest Memorandum, Ukraine gave up its nuclear weapons arsenal, the third largest in the world, in return for assurances their territorial integrity would be protected. You're kind of leaving out one very important thing right here, is that the neutrality of Ukraine was something that was always supposed to be enshrined by all parties involved, okay? If Russia just decided all of a sudden, it's time to restart up the USSR, okay, we had a catchy theme song, so we want to, put that back in rotation. Or if they just decided, I don't know if they've ever contemplated this idea, we'd like to join up with NATO. We think that'd be a great idea. And the EU sparking up, man, that just really looks like a good place for us to be. No. The Budapest Memorandum, it ensured that Ukraine would stay neutral. It wouldn't be joining anything. It would be like the fucking Switzerland of Eastern Europe, just with a lot more corruption. It was an agreement signed by Russia that included protecting Crimea and the Donbass as part of Ukraine. Oh my god, where was all this warmongering back when Crimea wanted to join up with Russia back in 2014? Alright, we don't want to talk about that. If you want peace in Ukraine, which we all do, obviously you don't, because the guy who's offering a fucking peace deal, you're just saying, I like him, but I think he's retarded. Simply demand Russians honor the boundaries that they agreed to in 1994 and withdraw all forces. Yeah, exactly. Don't listen to the people of the Donbass and Crimea. Listen to a closeted senator and his simping for the military-industrial complex. What was that? Another $600 million is heading over to Ukraine? Yes, exactly. The fucking war machine never stops. To do otherwise, to legitimize and bait and switch by Russia, and a signal to other bad actors to take what you want by force. If Elon Musk and others want the world to continue to be in chaos, then by all means capitulate to Putin and reward his aggression. As opposed to you who just like poking the fucking Russian bear, because that always works out extremely well, right? While we're at it, maybe Congress should revisit the electric vehicle tax credit boondoggle. Holy! Don't you dare exercise your First Amendment speech, by God, because we're going to go ahead and we're going to take money out of your pockets. Which is kind of funny because, again, the head of the Uniparty right now, Joe Biden, who's, I don't know if I'm even going to bother fucking talking about it because I'm just so diametrically opposed to this. But even still, it's just President Biden announces executive order pardoning Americans convicted of simple marijuana possession under federal law. Kamala Harris is somewhere in the background going, where the fuck are we going to get modern slaves now? Fuck Christ. But then at the same time, if anybody's actually convicted under a simple possession, they got a rap sheet as long as they're, as long as they're fucking armed. So we'll just go ahead and put that aside. So he's just releasing more criminals. Great. Democrats going to Democrat at the end of the day. But yeah, the reason to bring that up is because Biden wants to push towards an entirely electric vehicle fleet by 2035 or some shit like that for federal companies. And then a bunch of different states are also stumping for electric vehicles as well by 2030. They are unaffordable for the most people out there. Okay. And you want to take away that tax credit from Tesla? Well, guess what? That just means that all of those new regulations, all of those new taxes, the higher cost, it's just going to get passed off to the consumer. So because you're all butthurt about this, and we know how important your butt is to you, Lindsey, okay? That's just going to end up fucking the average citizen, which is, again, also what your warmongering is doing on top of that. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. It is where the credit is now solely benefiting electric vehicle manufacturers who have increased price equals to the tax credit. That's nice. And here's where it gets all very worry, okay? It could be a good way to help save money by applying those funds, assisting Ukrainians to defending their homeland. Yes, exactly. Take money away from somebody who's actually creating jobs, who's innovating in the automobile industry, something that used to be a pride of the American people, and then just shipping all of that money across seas because, again, who fucking cares at this point? We need another endless war to be going on, right? Because Biden fucked up the last one, so god damn it, he's gonna try to fuck up the next one. Because it looks like that powder cake, oh boy, there's a match on its way, and hopefully it doesn't fucking land into it, because our guy Zelensky over here, the actual manifestation of every single thing, okay? Mass media thought that Trump would be, oh, he's just a reality TV show host. What's he gonna do? Remember, Zelensky's a comedian, okay? He is literally a motherfucker who has no business acumen. I don't know what he has for a fucking degree, but he sure does look good in pictures, doesn't he? But yeah, he's being championed as the hero, and I'm sure by the end of the year, he's gonna be Times Person of the Year, right? Oh, bunch of fucking AIDS. But here's the latest round of warmongering that he's doing right there. Instead of, negotiating with Russia, okay? Taking literally anybody up on their offer to mediate peace agreements, okay? No. We're just going to go into the winter, which is always a good thing to be doing, fighting with Russia in the winter. It's never, ever been detrimental to anybody's cause before, right? Okay. Ukraine's Zelensky calls on NATO to launch preemptive strikes against Russia. Hey, can you guys just go ahead and bomb Russia for us? We'll be thankful for it. We've already paid for it, and I don't know where all of these we don't have any more room for the billions of dollars that you keep sending us. So if you could just bomb some new basements for some banks and some vaults that we need to install, that would be great. But it's for a virtuous purpose here. Against Russia, to eliminate the possibility of a Russian nuclear strike. Hey man, you see, Russians, we know they have nukes. There's no speculation on this one, okay? If you see any Russian nukes that are out there, just fire a preemptive strike, okay? We need to get to them before they get to us. This motherfucker, okay? For all of the additional fear-mongering on top of climate change and shit like that, these fucking dorks out there have no idea, okay? Oh, we could just have a little centralized, a little encapsulated nuclear war, and it would actually be fine for the climate. Oh, okay, cool. You have no idea how our atmosphere or fucking jet streams work, but no. Just go ahead and bomb the bad guy because mass media says Putin's the bad guy. Motherfuckers are nuts, and your taxpayer dollars are funding it, and Lindsey Graham, because he has a hate boner for Elon Musk, because he can't deliver Elon his, 11th baby. Now he just wants to penalize him. I don't even fucking know what's going on at this point, but hopefully that clears something up, or at least illuminates what the fuck nonsense is going on out there. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.